Hi,
Hi!
welcome to the Pattern Queens Flosstube number 28. Today is Sunday, May 3rd, 2020, and this is a channel about cross stitch.
And rambles and friendship and lots of shenanigans.
Always, right?
Always, always.
And you can see I am back in Katie's little book nook. The ladies at the retreat last weekend said that they really enjoyed this because they kind of like the I Spy game going on and trying to figure out all of the things. I mean, like next to me, I have a plant and I have a feather. And what else do I have? Oh, I have a mug. And of course, books.
Right?
But candles and whatever this is. Oh, lip scrub, in this teeny tiny little jar.
Lip
So
scrub is nice.
There's just all sorts of craziness in here. So
Yeah, well, I'm back in my guest room / office, so there's a bed behind me with lots of stuff on it and an open closet.
We got that 1 week of togetherness, and that's it. So I should say, I'm Laura.
And I'm Keisha.
And we'd like to welcome you to our channel.
Yes.
So, obviously, we are rambly all the time.
All the time. This is just us all the time. And it's funny because Laura's drinking decaf coffee. I have decaf tea. So this is us not even caffeinated.
And if you want to talk about people not caffeinated but extremely tired, it was Katie and I at the retreat.
That's okay. That's whenever you get a little bit slap happy and just a lot silly. So
and you were there to witness it.
I was, to encourage and laugh at it.
So I'm going to let you have it.
All right. Well, we thought that we'd start off today doing a little bit of a review of the Show Me Retreat 2020. And of course, you're not going to get an unbiased review from Laura because she helped plan the thing. So I'm going to just go over a few things that I got in the box. Also, Laura and I are both wearing the same shirt today. And this was unplanned. It's the retreat shirt. Laura messaged me and she's like, by the way, I'm wearing my shirt from the retreat. And I was like, oh yeah, I already have that on. So it was an accidental matching today.
Hey, and by the way, Keisha, you're not unbiased.
Oh, that's true. I don't like you and Katie at all. This is going to be a terrible review. Yeah, it's not going to be an unbiased review, guys, because I'm friends with Laura and Katie. But anyway, this is the box we got. It says Retreat in a Box. It's for the Show Me 2020 retreat. And it was just packed with stuff. I'm just going to go down the card. We got a card in there that is our spoiler card that kind of told us everything that was in there. So I'm just going to go down this card. So the first thing is a personalized needle minder, and I put that in the box, and it has now fallen to the bottom of the box, probably.
I'm sure it's the lightest thing.
Yeah. So maybe we don't start with the personalized needle minder. Maybe we start elsewhere. Guys, I promise, I just had it. I was using it on one of my projects. I'm not really sure where it went to, but it said my name, and it's lovely. And probably
I could run in and get mine, but getting in and out of here is kind of a trick.
Right.
Oh, Katie's got hers, she thinks.
Oh, okay. I swear, I just had it. And then I put it in the box. We'll run across it.
Okay. So this is obviously not Keisha, so I got to do this.
Yes. So mine says Keisha, but it's the exact same other than that. And it's a really nice needle minder. It's really flat and it's pretty big. And I like to, whenever I'm stitching, and this will just be a little preview of what I've been working on, I like to fold my fabric and then I put the needle minder on top of it and it kind of holds my excess. And so I like a nice, strong, flat needle minder. And so I really enjoy that one. And I don't get very many personalized things, so it's nice to have that as well.
So we were talking about that at retreat, and again yesterday when we were doing our unboxing, because we had Keisha, Athena, and Melina.
Uh-huh.
And the three of you said, I never get personalized things. And
Right.
we were using that as your name tag for the in-person retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And when we had to cancel that, we decided, yeah, we're still using those because that was one of the things. So
yeah,
that was like a bonus for us, that it was so well received because people just liked having their names on things.
right. Well, and a lot of people like to collect needle minders, so having a personalized one is definitely like a cool collectible thing because it's not something you can just get anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing we got was a DMC floss palette, and I don't have one of the flosses in here with me, but it was pinkish orange that I used for French Country hot air balloon, so I have used it. But here are the other colors. So really pretty floss palette that's pretty versatile. You could use that for a lot of different things.
And stringy.
Mm-hmm. And the prize in the floss box is this color and cotton. Oh, it's so pretty. It's dark indigo, and it's has some dark indigo in it, but then it gets lighter and has some gray. It's a really good like stormy color. So I'm really looking forward to finding something to use this for. I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet, but I'm really looking forward to finding something.
We really like working with Angela. She has really great customer service. That reminds me, and I'm going to say this now because I'll forget later. She has opened a brick and mortar shop, Cardinal Needlework, or Cardinal Needle Works, maybe with an S, in the St. Louis area. And right now it's in kind of a temporary location from what I gathered from what Beth said. But it should be, when all of this lifts and is over and you can go in places again, Beth says it's really cool to walk in and see the whole wall of fabric and flosses and things.
I bet that's amazing because I think now that's the only LNS like in that St. Louis area. Yeah. So it's really nice that they have something there because there aren't a whole lot of LNSs in Missouri even.
No.
So we have one over here. There's one down south in Branson, and then now there's one in St. Louis. So
I think there's one downtown here, but I haven't been to it. It's more of a needlepoint shop, though, right?
Right. Yeah, there is one downtown. I've been wanting to go there just to look at the fibers.
Soon.
Right. We'll make it there someday. And then the next thing, and Laura showed this to you last week because she showed her finish, is this bee welcome pattern. Let me get in on, look at that little beehive. I'm so excited to stitch this. I'm so excited. And that was decorated. That was designed by the Black Needle Society, which is Katie Landis. So our technical team over here in Queens. So I'm really excited to stitch this, and so it's an exclusive floss palette just for the Show Me Retreat 2020, but you said Katie was going to release it to the general public with a brighter floss palette eventually, correct?
Right. So, and she's thinking probably June or July that will come out.
Okay, so if you really like this pattern, be on the lookout for it. And I've I've seen a little bit of Katie working on the brighter one, and it's going to be beautiful also. So definitely be on the lookout for that if you really like this pattern.
And it changed the whole look of it. It was amazing.
Right, because this is definitely more of a prim color palette, and the brights, I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. So, and then the next thing, see, I started pulling things out, and then I was like, no, leave it in the box. And so now I don't know where anything is. It's this Stitching Fuel candle, and this is from Wick Wish Candle Company. And it's just a really nice, clean scent. And I haven't burned it yet, but I'm looking forward to doing that.
Yeah, and her candles burn really nicely, really clean. So
Oh, okay, nice. And I guess I should say the theme of the retreat was kind of like a retreat, like a relaxing, calming thing, and that's why the candle and a few of the other things that I'll show you that are in here.
yep, we use the theme share, stitch, celebrate.
Right.
Katie's laughing. She's like, it's on your shirts. Share,
Well,
stitch, celebrate.
but we're not sitting at an angle where they can really read them. And then the next thing we got in the box were these note cards, and mine's still in the package, but it says stitching each day keeps the crazy away, which is true, which is very true. I've often said I'm glad that my hobby is stabbing things several times because that is therapeutic some days. And these were designed by Katie too. If you don't know, and I haven't mentioned it enough, Katie is a wonderful graphic designer, and she's just awesome. And I'm going to fangirl even though I know Katie is in the back behind the computer where you're recording. So that's it. The next thing we got is this cool little sapphire pin, which almost looks like a magic wand. It's fun. So I'm excited for this because I like to collect different pins. So it goes with my fun pin collection.
And the pin tip is really interesting too. Have you looked at that?
Oh, I guess I haven't. It's a really fine point one. I don't know.
But I like the crystal effect around it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's kind of fun.
Matches the cap. But yeah, this looks like a pretty fine tip pin, so that's fun. I don't have many that are fine tip. And then next, this is still in the package. I have not taken it out. It's this really pretty dandelion scarf. And it's a navy blue with a rose gold metallic. And it's a great big scarf too. And it's lightweight, so it's a good springtime scarf.
It's nice. What made us think about putting it in the box is that so often when you go to events, there's kind of a draft in the room because they're trying to keep it cool for the number of people in the room.
Right.
But it can be breezy. So to just pull a scarf like that around your neck is a way to keep from getting so chilly.
Right.
So.
Oh, and guess what? I got to the bottom of the box and I found my needle minder.
Yay!
So there it is. I have one too. It says Keisha. I didn't lose it. It just fell to the bottom of the box. The next thing we got was this honey face mask, which I haven't used yet, but I love a good face mask. So I'm really looking forward to wearing this. And it's a honey one, which is nice. I love the smell of honey. So
we keep saying that it's good for things like if you go out and do yard work, or if you've just been out and for a walk or a run or whatever you do, and you come home and you're hot and sweaty, that you should go in and just wash your face and then put that on because it will cool your face right down.
Right. Or if you just want to feel fancy.
Yeah.
You're pampering yourself. I love a good face mask.
We have those girl nights here.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's fun. This kind of mask kind of slips off your face, so it's hard to stitch with it.
Yes.
But if you hold a book right in front of you like this, you can read a book with the face mask on. I've tested this. The next thing is this travel wine / juice glass. For me, it's a juice glass. It's for a couple more months, and it says sip, stitch, repeat. And it's a nice travel tumbler. It has this lid on it so you don't spill all over the place, which is good at a retreat. I will definitely be bringing this to future retreats, I think, because it's good. So you always worry that you're going to be that person at the table that accidentally spills and gets water on someone's over-dyed floss. Yeah. So I will be taking this to future retreats.
It's a nice size because it's smallish.
Yes, yes. And then the last treat in the box is this beautiful, wonderful zippered pouch. It's a little zipper. It's a Notions bag made by the lovely Laura. And I just love it. It's blue and it's happy, and I've got to figure out what all I'm going to put in this. So that was the box. Lots of good stuff. And the box is basically what you would get in your swag bag whenever you got to the retreat. Because I've been to other retreats that you've thrown and you always have a little something that's like, everyone has this. So really nice. Definitely a lot of good stuff in there. And not even, not all stitching stuff that you can use outside of stitching, which is nice.
Yeah, we were trying to make it kind of a rounded experience,
Right.
instead of just a cross stitch box.
Right. And it's really, I appreciate that. It's kind of fun that, I can wear this scarf even when I'm not stitching,
Well, yeah, and I mean, that's like a remembrance then. So you can't be stitching, but you're working or doing whatever, and you have like that on, and it's, it's just your nice little reminder. And
right, and 30 of your closest stitching friends also have the same scarf.
Yeah. Who will I match?
Right. And then I have a couple more things that I want to show you that I got because of the retreat. I didn't show you this last week, and I'm really excited about it. I got this as a door prize, this little rabbit needle minder that you guys made in your Glowforge, and I like it because you like rabbits.
Yep, that's
So
my
Laura needle minder.
That's my part of our Love You More logo that Katie designed for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I really like it. And then
I have one too, so we match.
Oh, we match. The official Pattern Queens needle minder this Friday.
Coming soon to a shop near you.
Right. It'll hop right in, right?
Yeah, it will.
Okay. That was my bad pun for the episode. And then I won at bingo. And we'll talk about bingo a little bit later, but the prize for winning bingo was a book sleeve. And it's just a standard size. And the inside is this fun tie-dye. So I won. And for a couple of months, it's my juice tropical drink. And this is called Cheers. Yes. This book sleeve is. So
and yours does not have a label on it because we are extremely short on them right now. So I owe you a label in a couple months.
Okay, that sounds fine. But yeah, so anyway,
you might get the brand new label, which we finally found a different place we could order some labels, and we got them ordered yesterday. And yeah.
Oh wow, exciting!
And it might have the bunny on it.
Okay, I need to have it because I have every iteration of your label so far.
And then when Halloween comes around, we also ordered some labels that are black with white writing, and maybe there's a skull on them.
Fun. Well, everyone be on the lookout for that. You want your exclusive Love You More labels. That's exciting. I think that's just fun because you can kind of mark like when you bought things that way. So anyway, those are all of my goodies from the retreat. I got a couple of other patterns, but they're in my living room, my stitching spot. I forgot to bring them in here, but and so in my door prize, the needle minder was part of my door prize. I also got a piece of Zephyr from Picture This Plus, and then I got 3 patterns. So it was a pretty good door prize.
The vendors, the designers, and the vendors were really generous, and so we were able to provide really nice door prizes to people.
Right. Well, and you've already seen the product of one of the door prizes because of the French Country hot air balloon that I showed last week. So, all very nice things. And so that was all of the stuff that I got from the weekend. And then I wanted to talk a little bit just about the digital nature of the retreat. I thought it was really interesting. So basically, everything's shut down, so we can't all get together, in one room. So basically, we met over Facebook Messenger, and Facebook Messenger was pretty cool. You can do a video call through there, and you can have up to 8 people in a chat. And Facebook Messenger is free as long as you have a Facebook account, and you can download it to your phone, and people can actually like call the group and it makes your phone ring, so you know that someone is trying to get a hold of you through Facebook Messenger. And I thought that that was really nice. You could see everybody on your screen as they were stitching, and everyone could talk to each other. And I just thought that that was a really nice way to get together. And so not only for the retreat, but if you're missing your stitching friends, if you have like a normal get together, that's a way that you can continue to stitch together and talk to each other and see what everyone's working on, while we spend this time apart.
Yep. One thing we found out about the calls is that if you're on a computer, you have the option to choose who you start the call with. Mm-hmm. If you're on an iPad or a phone, we believe we haven't found any other way around it yet. You call everyone in the group when you start your call, and until somebody answers, it's calling everyone. So
right.
Like Felicity and Chloe and Belinda in Australia probably got some phones ringing at odd times.
Right. Who's calling me in the middle of the night?
Yes. But it was so cool to be able to chat with them live.
Right.
Just because, because we were on the calls anytime we were not doing something else.
Right. Well, and that's my first experience with doing a voice chat through Facebook Messenger. I've used, we're using Skype right now, and I've used Zoom for work, and I've used Google Hangouts, but I feel like Facebook Messenger is pretty easy to use.
Yes.
Especially if you're not super into technology. It's really easy because basically you add people to the group that you want on your call, and then you just call them.
Yes.
So it's pretty easy and pretty accessible.
And the other benefit for us was that when we wanted to have a group event that where we needed everybody together, Katie and I would hop on Facebook and do a Facebook Live. Mm-hmm. And now we were the only ones who could be on camera. I think we could have brought people on with us, but we didn't try that. Because really, we were playing bingo and doing things like that where we were just trying to give instructions. So,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
and having laughing fits.
Right. So I would encourage anyone who's looking for a way to get together with your friends during this time where you can't actually get together to maybe give Facebook Messenger a try.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Keisha and I have even talked about maybe doing it with our What's a Stitching group and having a couple of groups going if enough people are there.
Right. So fun. And then a couple of events from the weekend that were super fun. We played bingo, and oh my gosh, bingo doesn't really have anything to do with stitching.
Nope.
But we all had the best time playing bingo.
Although our card said chart.
Oh yes, you did name it something different. That's it. But oh man, that was just fun. And like you said, you used Facebook Live, and you used a tiny decision wheel to kind of pick the numbers. And man, we were just all in that live chat, just on the edge of our seats, trying to win this bingo game. And the stakes were pretty low. I got a wonderful sleeve out of it, but it, and a lot of people were like, I don't even care if I win anything. I just want to play bingo. So that was a lot of fun. And then you guys made us play the meanest games ever, the stash dive game. And so if you've never been to one of the retreats that Laura has been a part of, there's always some sort of game where there's a riddle and you have to figure out what she means by the riddle. So it's I don't know. I can't even come up with one, but it's a riddle that makes you think needles. And then you have to count how many needles you have at your table with your group. So she did basically the same thing for us at home. No riddles. She told you straight out what you needed, but made it even harder because you're at home with access to all of your stash. And so, man, we just saw pictures of destroyed craft rooms because people were trying to pull out charts with different things on them.
And we told everybody ahead of time that you could only be in one room So
Right.
you had to choose the room you were going to be in. And we gave everybody time to get there.
Mhm.
But you had to be in one room and you couldn't go pull anything.
Right. Right. And I did not win any of these. I got close on one. Like I was in second place on one of them. Because we played it each day throughout the weekend. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, I thought. There are some people who are like, my craft room will never recover from this.
And then there are the people who found things that they had forgotten they had.
Right, right. So we played that game, and then we had one team event, which was basically scour the internet for patterns that have this in it. And now we all have an inside joke at the retreat because one of yours was find a Shakespeare's peddler that had a snail in it,
Yes,
which of course was one that you had stitched before.
it is.
And my team did not find it. That was the tiebreaker because we tied, and so that was the tiebreaker one. My team did not win. The other team won. But oh, it was so
And
funny.
then Laura found the pattern in her stash.
Right. So if you don't know, Shakespeare's Peddler designs these just beautiful reproduction samplers that are huge and just ornate. And so we're zooming in on every picture we can find on the internet. Like, is that little circular thing on the plant? Is that snail? I don't know.
And her patterns are packed full.
Yes.
All
yes,
sorts of little motifs and things.
yes. So that game was really
Message her and tell her what kind of chaos we created with her.
she'd probably like that. So anyway, overall, I really had a good time at the retreat. There were a lot of fun activities, and the stuff we got was really cool. And it was just nice to be able to talk to fellow Stitchers. Of course, I'd prefer an in-person retreat just
Yes.
because it's nicer to be with people. But I think it's a good a digital retreat is a good option for people who can't necessarily, come to Kansas City, Missouri for a retreat. So overall, I thought it was really good.
Cool.
So that's my review.
We are planning a November meetup where we will combine the Show Me Retreat people and the people who had signed up for Frogwarts Retreat. Now, we are also opening that up to anyone who wants to come to the area, and it is really just a meetup. It's not going to be a swag box full-fledged retreat. It will have all sorts of fun and prizes and games and goodies, but it won't be, you're not going to get the swag box like what you just showed.
Right.
And that retreat is November, help me out, Katie, 5th through 8th. It's the first weekend in November, and I actually could look here real quick because I have my calendar. It's November 5th through the 8th. The 7th is the Saturday, so.
Right. Well, and
it'll be a Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah, and I'm just going to go ahead and mention, because I don't know if you were planning on it, but the Black Needle Society, which is the cross-stitch arm of Love You More Studios, are actually selling retreats in a box for different seasons and different things. So definitely go check that out if you liked the quality of the stuff that was in this box. I mean, I know you and Katie, and you've already kind of told me a few of the things for boxes that I haven't purchased. And I'm like, oh man, yeah, I want that. So, and it's not all going to be cross-stitch things. You're going to get some, themed items that aren't necessarily cross-stitch. And so that's kind of fun.
So the box that's up currently is our Fall Into Stitching box. And the palette that we have for it, the color palette is so pretty. And we've already had fun planning some of those things. We're currently sold out of our Camp Black Needle Society, which is coming out in June. However, there may be a couple extra of those. Once the box makes it where it needs to go, we'll have a few extras. And then our Frogwarts box is, there are no more pre-orders being taken on it. But the same thing there, we may have a few extra once the box is delivered everywhere.
Right. So follow Black Needle Society on Instagram for those drops and those hints that there might be more available.
Well, and we always try and hold a few back so that like if we had mailed you yours and your candle had broken, then we would have replaced that.
Right.
We had because Katie used to work on a book box. There was one, and we did a box, I guess, that had a little cauldron bath bomb that was full of glitter and stuff. And somebody got it and it had exploded through
Oh
the,
no.
and we asked that people send us pictures,
Right.
but this lady sent the picture and oh, it was just awful. And we just sent out a new box because of that. But in general, we keep a few things in case, and then that means that we have extra boxes
Right.
because we try to pack so that it's going to be in there pretty securely. So, but yep. So we have those 3 boxes, and then there may be another mini box in the fall with a specific theme of an event that happens in the fall. And then we're hoping to get things out about our Advent box. And we're excited about that. We've already made some inquiries, and we're really excited because of one of the vendors that we're working with, and we contacted one designer, and that designer has almost completely chosen a color palette while we were on the phone with her. So that will be exciting.
And guys, they spilled the beans to me about who the big vendor is. And I'm just going to tell you, it's exciting. And things are kind of hard to get from this vendor.
Yeah. And that vendor has asked us to cap it at 50 boxes. So we're working through things. We're thinking now we're going to have a full 25-day Advent box plus a smaller 12 or 13-day box. I think it'll be 12, but if we need it to, then it'll go to 13 days. But so there'll be, the big box, and there'll be a mini box. So
awesome.
But the one vendor, the one with 50, will only be in the deluxe box. So Katie's fan is on in this room, and it is blowing my hair everywhere. So you're going to see me going here.
Okay. Just, it's a good excuse for weird faces. I have no excuse for weird faces other than I just make them sometimes.
Yes, you do. It's pregnancy. Like everything on pregnancy.
That's right. Except for I was making weird faces long before that.
Okay, shall we get into some stuff here?
Oh yeah, let's actually talk about the stitching we did, Laura.
Since we're half an hour into this.
Right.
Hey, I'm going to start with finishes, and I already asked you, so I know that I'm the one with the finish this week. I think you guys will not be surprised. I finished Rabbit Patch by Heart and Hand Needle Art, and I pulled just a random piece of fabric from my stash, and I think I had one color that was called for, and so I used a bunch of Victorian motto, but there's my bunny.
Oh wow, it looks so good.
Can you see him, or do I need something behind him?
I can see him.
Okay, and I think I can go, there we go. He was so fun to stitch. On the pattern, there's a tassel around his neck. Oops, sorry. And I don't think I'm going to do that, although I may figure it out and do something. So, yeah. But that's him.
Awesome. I was wondering if you had finished him this week.
Yes. And I made sure I finished him in April.
Nice.
Okay, so how about stash? Did you get anything this week?
Well, other than the big box of things I showed you, no. I ordered a bunch of things from 123 Stitch, and of course, I mean, there's limited people who can be in there to ship things, and so things are taking a little bit longer. Basically, I bought almost all of the floss that I need for my new starts that I'm doing in May. The post office says that it should be here on Tuesday, so that's good. So I should just have like a big old bag of floss to show you next time.
I have a little bag of floss that's in here. just this.
Exciting.
Plus, several of these flosses came from Stash too.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that a pretty color palette?
That is really pretty.
And I'll show you what that goes with later. I'm going to show you Katie's stash because, of course, I'm going to borrow it, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
We got Sewing Club by Blackbird Designs.
Ooh, exciting.
It is so pretty. Look at this sampler on the back.
Oh, that's so pretty.
And I love this one. I mean, it says 16 projects to stitch and sew. And there are various sizes of things, and it's just really a great, it's just really a great book. I'm in Katie's room and trying to figure out where I'm going to set things down. And then I also got, did you not get this?
Well, maybe it came yesterday. I didn't check the mail yesterday.
Oh.
Okay, spoil it for me. I want to see what it is.
Okay, so I got 32 count 2-2 from Coloring Cotton. Isn't that pretty?
Oh, man. Hopefully that is in my mailbox.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't check it yesterday. I should have. I was right next to the mailbox yesterday. But I didn't check it.
Mine came, I want to say like Friday, maybe.
Huh.
No, was that right? Yeah, Katie's saying yes.
Oh, I checked early Friday, so I don't know.
The other thing that came Friday, it's my package from Judy.
Ooh,
and
fun.
You'll see our show notes. If you click the drag down arrow, I have Judy's group listed. It's Judy's Project Bags and More. Yes. And she's opened the group on Facebook, and she has pictures up of all of this beautiful fabric. And Katie and I were talking with her to kind of wrap up from retreat, and she actually made me a bag that she doesn't have listed yet because she showed me all of the new fabric.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So this is
knowing a person.
Yeah. So this is it.
Oh, nice.
And it just has all of these positive messages, and really it's music because it says, I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. Don't worry, be happy. You can grow your own way. Ha ha, you know. So anyway, but beautiful, beautiful. And inside, I have these cute little purple polka dots.
Oh, I'm a sucker for polka dots.
Yes. And then the reason we were talking was this one.
Oh, yes.
So I got to choose which purple inside I wanted, and this is the one I picked. And look how pretty that is with that pattern.
Yes, good choice.
And Judy always does some kind of fun little button.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have one more. You guys, I was terrible. I kept looking and going, oh, I could have that one, and I could have that one. So I have this beautiful butterfly print.
Oh, that's nice.
The big sunflowers and mushrooms. And inside this, it's got a little bit of metallic.
Oh, yeah, you can see that.
And the colors are perfect for this, and just a fun big button on it.
Nice.
So that was quite a bit of stash, and yeah, it was a nice treat after all the work we did during the retreat, which was really so much fun. We just couldn't stand it. So
right.
That's all my stash.
Awesome.
I'm telling you, it is really getting me. How about whips?
All right, whips. Well, I started my week and spent the majority of my week, for being honest, on Aberlowney 1825 from Erica Michaels. And I just love this sampler. Oh, I just love it. Every time I work on it, I don't want to put it down.
Yeah, so Michelle, you better get yours out.
I sent her a picture of it, and she's like, you're kicking my butt. And I was like, oh, don't worry. There's still a whole lot left to do. But this is where I'm at. I did this top row of alphabet here, wow. And then all the alphabet on the bottom row except for the L, M, and N.
Wow.
So I really worked on it a lot. I even worked on it a little bit on Thursday because I had the K and the U to finish.
Uh-huh.
I'm finishing this alphabet. So I just love it. These aren't the called for floss. They aren't all the called for flosses. They're pretty close. Basically what happened is Michelle Bendy and I are stitching this together, and she went and she picked out all the flosses for a conversion for it. And so we're doing the same floss conversion. So, and then I'm not doing this on the called for fabric. I think the called for fabric is Weeks Cocoa. And I'm doing it on, this is a Zweigert, and I think it's the color Dirty. So anyway, there's that. I'm really looking forward to when you start your sampler for Mania, because then I get to bring this back out. So I'm really excited about that. And then the next thing, and this is not exciting progress. I worked on Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. I'm doing this block right now. This is the block I selected for April. And I guess I get to start a new one next Thursday. And I have a thread on here and some unfinished stitches. I'm sorry. It's all I could take on this week. I'm working on the roof.
Yeah, you said that roof was killing you.
Yeah, well, and it's like, I think the bottom row of the roof is 64 stitches wide, and so then you just decrease by 2, and I've still got like half of this left.
Wow.
So that's all I did on Thursday. I mean, I did quite a few. I did like 4 rows of this, so I mean, there's a couple hundred stitches that I ended up with, but sometimes you do those parts of a project and you feel like you're not making any progress at all.
Yes.
So that's kind of where I was. I'm looking forward to starting a new block on Thursday.
So I feel like we need to have a video chat with some of our friends, and you can just pull that out and whip that thing out.
I don't think there's any whipping it out, but I could try at least. And then, exciting, May 1st, I had a new start. I started my Mania. We both started with a Satsuma Street.
Yes.
And the one I chose was Pretty Little Chicago.
And I got some panicked messages from you.
Yes. So, and I'll tell you this before I show you my whip. So, as I told you earlier, I do not have all of my floss for everything. It's not going to be here until Tuesday, and I'm working on this. I worked on it Friday, Saturday, and then I'll work on it today. So none of those days are whenever I'm going to have the new floss. So I had to basically like search frantically through my projects that I have already started and see if I could find floss that I needed for it, which has been interesting. And I've been able to find quite a bit because it has a lot of blues in the section that I'm working on, and I have a couple of projects that have basically all the blues. So so I was able to find stuff for that. Then I couldn't really find a piece of fabric that I liked for it. And I'm thinking through like all of my fabric stash, and I know I have this piece of pretty gray that I got from Color and Cotton, and I couldn't find it. That's what I was planning on doing it on. And it's, the model is stitched just on like a white. So I went through and I found some white, but I was like, I don't really want to do this on white. And so then I found a piece of natural linen, and I love a natural linen. So it's like, well, this would probably look pretty good on it because it's bright color, so it would just pop off of that. Piece of fabric isn't big enough. I barely have like 1/2-inch margins around the outside, which would make me very uncomfortable. So I was like, you know what? We're stitching it over 1. We're just going to stitch it over 1. And I'm not mad about it.
Because that is how you are rolling lately.
Right. Well, and I'm really enjoying stitching over 1. But anyway, this is my progress on it. I've made pretty good progress.
Yeah.
And here is a bobbin for scale.
It is tiny.
Yeah. But I'm kind of excited. I was telling you the other day, this will end up being just a little bit smaller than like a postcard size. So I'm kind of excited about that, because then I could do a lot of these pretty little cities over one and make like a little postcard series, which I think would be kind of fun.
I wonder if you could like do a flat mount of it, a flat finish of it, and mount it on just a piece of cardstock, and then put that in a frame so that it looks like you framed a postcard.
That would be fun. That would be fun. So anyway, yeah, and for all of you who are wondering, this is the Willis Tower, formerly the Sears Tower. And I have been up to the sky deck of this, and it's a lot of fun.
Me too.
Yeah. It wasn't so fun for my husband, who is afraid of heights. But I've been up there. So, and the cool thing, if you ever order one of the Pretty Little Cities from Satsuma Street, if it's a real city, because she's also done the Emerald City. If it's a real city, she has a little key that tells you what each thing is.
Oh, awesome.
So, that's pretty fun. But anyway, those are my whips for this week.
Okay. I think I have pulled this back out. I'm going to show it to you again anyway. It's my Heart Beats True by Waxing Moon Designs. Mm-hmm. And I love this piece. And it's been my, it's really been fun because it's been my, I'm just going to pull that out and fill in a little bit of color.
Oh, fun. Wow.
So I don't remember if I really stitched on it this week, but, But I did pull out Coffee Quaker, the Magical Elixir Series Part 2. Ooh. Because I found, I was looking through things and I came across my gorgeous Judy bag that's the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And look at the inside. Even the inside matches it.
Yeah. Oh, that's cute.
And I thought, okay, I'm going to work on this because I really have been wanting to. So I got most of another motif in. Oh, doggone. It's a big piece of fabric right now for not a whole lot of stuff. So I'm working on this little motif. Here we go. Right here.
Nice.
I love that kind of a motif.
Uh-huh.
And it doesn't take very long. That was a night that I was pretty exhausted, and I just, I didn't have anything else to work on through the end of the month before Mania started. So,
right.
Also, last week I showed you that I finished a lion on here. Here, we'll turn on this side. I finished the lion, and so on Thursday I was still working on my April. Neither of us were very successful with our April. I would pull this down and I could set everything else back up. But I did work a little bit on it, and I did okay. I got all of the windows in, and I filled in the door.
Mm-hmm.
And the door handle and started on that black.
Nice.
And I've started my little black line for the next block because I need to have that so I can sit down and actually stitch. So I may pull this back out and just get the border all the way around so that I'll be ready to go with it.
Right. Yeah, I need still to do that line.
And then May 1st, my Satsuma Street start is Primavera.
I love this one.
Now, I do not have all the colors yet, so I started this bird. I'm going to put this bag behind it because it's such fine linen. I ended up finding 40 count linen, plain white, because I liked how crisp and clean it looked.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the bird, and I'm missing one color. And then I started on the flower next to it. So I got quite a bit of progress.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I'll show a little scale here. Well, you can see my needle over there. Mm-hmm. That's a petite needle. And here is my little quilting clip.
Yeah, so you're doing some teeny tiny stitches too.
Yes, and I really am liking it. I'm making sure I have good light with it. I'm missing I have a couple things that I can order from 123 Stitch, but they do not have DMC 111, which is one of the original variegated flosses. And I really think I want the variegated one. I could substitute a solid, but you can see, like, especially on this bird, how pretty. Well, let me just flip over there. Yeah. How pretty that brown is.
Yeah.
And I really want that color. So I'm going to have to wait until I can get a hold of that one to get it stitched all the way.
Right. Well, luckily there's a lot of other stuff to stitch in the meantime.
Yes. And I will have to get my 123 order in. I think I'm going to stop on it because I did start the flower, but it makes me nervous to not have the border in.
Oh, yeah.
Because I really don't want to have to unstitch and restitch.
Right. I don't blame.
Okay, do you want to talk mania plans?
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to continue to work on Pretty Little Chicago today. Because we were working on our first ones for 3 days. And then on May 4th, Star Wars Day.
Yes.
I'm going to continue working on Floral Death Star from Rocking Horse Cross Stitch on Etsy. I'm excited to get back to this one. Hopefully I can make some pretty good progress on it.
It makes a good one for you because you don't have to have any more floss. You already have everything.
Right. This one's already kitted up. So that's good news. So I'll be working on that for a few days. And then I'll be starting the May block, or the one that I say is May, on Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow, which is this one here. So I'm kind of excited. There's been a lot of solid stitching lately. I'm excited to do something that's a little less daunting. So
there's a lot more in those blocks than you think. And they show you that whole pattern and you're like, oh, that's so cool. But those, like my blocks, are 92 stitches square. What are yours? Do you know?
Here. Yeah, it's 92.
Which is a lot of stitches in a square.
Right. And so even though that this looks like it's not going to be that bad, I'm sure that there are a million stitches in this peacock.
Yeah.
So, but I'm looking forward to that. Just something about doing letters and having smaller goals than doing this huge house is going to be nice. So
I'll be still loving my Hawk Run Hollow.
Yeah, it's just there's definitely some spots where it's just, well, and it's like any pattern really.
Yeah.
You know, there are more spots that are more fun to stitch than others, but it all looks great at the end.
And I think that we thought that it would be I think we thought it would be easier getting each block done in the 4 Thursdays at Panera.
Right. And that is not true. Probably I just need to stitch on only this and then I can get it done by the end of the year. But I think our goals were too lofty.
Yes.
And then next Saturday, and we're both going to work on this one.
Yes.
We'll be starting You Be Well, which is the Be Well and Stitch freebie from Shepherd's Bush. And I still need to pick out my colors for this one.
I'm thinking about doing mine on a 10 count Tula.
Oh, that would be so cute.
With some pearl cottons.
Oh, I like that idea. That would be great.
I just have to see what I have in there for colors because I think almost any color would be nice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can make a flower any color and hearts any color. And
I know I have a piece of doubloon, which is a real good neutral. But I want to see if I have other colors too.
Yeah. Oh man, that'll be so cute. I think I might be doing the Sheep and Whisper just to give it texture. And just a thing to my fellow floss lickers, don't lick Whisper. Don't ever lick Whisper. Because I did that once, and that fuzz will not come off your tongue for a couple of days, I feel like. So, floss lickers beware.
There you go. Okay, so I pulled my book out, and I did go ahead. See, I started it, so I wrote this one in. It's on there officially, but I still have all my crazy little stickies. And I found that I have 14 new starts for the month. So I may end up throwing in one more on the very last day if I'm not too crazy. Oh, doggone, Katie, I knocked the other one off. I knocked off both of her water bottles.
Oh.
But here's if I start a 15th one, it'll probably be a paper pattern. So I do have one paper pattern already, which is the Hoopla 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting that with Doreen, who is the winner of our giveaway for my things. And I'm going to do it. I have this little scrap of 40 count fabric, and it calls for it to be done on 40 counts. So mine will fit in the little hoop that I bought. And it's a pretty stinking cute little hoop. And I have mine in a Love You More sleeve that's called Hot Dots.
Mm-hmm.
I had been coveting this sleeve, and finally that was the perfect excuse to really keep it. And inside, look at this. I just love this.
That's fun.
And my birthday's in July, so like this is the thing that I really want. But I will be starting that tomorrow. Doreen sent me a message on our last video and said, wait, aren't we starting on the 4th? Well, yes, we are. I will be starting this one in the morning. And then when I sit down in the evening to stitch, I will be starting Floral Darth Vader. Ooh.
So
and I have to figure out what color fabric I'll be doing him on. I believe his background is actually all blue. There's not black on this one, so I can't really stitch him on a black. I don't know, if I would choose some funky fabric to do it on. That would be kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd have to make sure it was going to show okay. And then we're doing You Be Well after that. And then I'm going to go one step further and tell them what we're going to do next Sunday.
Oh, yeah, because we want people to join us if they want to.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to show you my Hawk Run Hollow is this block, which may be my favorite block on the piece.
And there's a Laura-sized house on that one.
I get it, and it's hidden behind the letters. Yeah. So we'll see. I love that one. But then the one that we're doing next week, and you know what? I may do it on some of the pretty fabric that we've gotten from Color and Cotton.
Mm-hmm.
And it is this one from the Blue Flower. It'd be pretty on that tutu I just got.
That's what I was thinking about. Hopefully mine's out there.
Let joy be unconfined.
I love this one. And this is just a freebie. It's Blue Flowers Be Well and Stitch freebie.
Yes, and it is so, so pretty. Janine did such a lovely job on it. You're going to do yours in the silks, right?
Yes.
So we are hoping everybody think good thoughts, say prayers that Keisha gets her floss and that it has all of her silks.
Yeah, because I can't fake silks. No. I don't have any silks.
Yeah. Well, and mine will be a conversion. I need to really play in my stash and see what I have. I have a bunch of silks. Not the silks that she's calling for, but I have a bunch of silks, so I could get in and play with the colors and do that. I have some beautiful gum nut stars that would be lovely. They're Australian silks.
Oh, nice.
So, and we are doing that next Sunday on Mother's Day. So Keisha and I would like to invite any of you who are mothers, who have a mother, that means all of you guys, to come stitch with us. and start that one on Mother's Day with us next weekend.
Right. Because it's just such a good sentiment just for life to let your
Yeah.
joy be confined. There's no reason to not just like, hey, I'm happy. Everyone should know, you know?
Yeah. And I figure you have got to be so full of joy right now.
Ooh, my joy does not want to be confined any longer. The way he's kicking, so.
So, and I know you told me that the baby is keeping you up.
Yes. Yes. He has a little bit of a routine. Like he's up a little bit in the morning, and then he won't move so much while I'm working, and then once I go stretch out in my stitching spot, he's like, oh yes, we have stretched out, time to kick. And I've been resting my arm on my stomach while I stitch, and he just kicks it the entire time. And then I'll go lay down. If I lay down on my back, I can't feel him move so much, but since I'm supposed to sleep on my side, he'll just start kicking away. So,
He's just a happy little guy.
yes, just little happy kicks all the time.
So I think that's it for all of our craziness.
I think so.
So I think there's nothing left to do except to say thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you. We had lots of great comments and questions on our last video, so keep them coming. We love that.
Yeah, you had a question about why you do your hoop a certain way.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and I mean, I guess I can go over that just real quick. And I think I've explained this before, but I put my hoop on a little bit backwards. Like I put it so that I'm stitching in instead of, a lot of people put their hoops this way.
Yes.
And the reason I do that is because whenever I'm holding it, I'm holding on to the hoop and I'm not touching the front of my piece so much, so it doesn't get as dirty. And also, whenever I finish a thread in the back, it's a lot easier because I have a smooth surface to run my needle behind my stitches. And also, a really good tip that I saw on the internet is to put your hoop at 10 or 11 o'clock, like on a clock, because you snag your thread less.
Oh.
So it's not right up at the top. You snag it less. So I guess if you're a left-handed stitcher, you'd put it over here. But anyway, I thought that was a good question. I just pick up things that I see like in the stitching groups on Facebook or on Flosstube and just try it out. And if it works, that's great.
Yes. Yes. So good tips. And keep those comments coming. Keep the questions coming. We love that. Gives us something else to chat about while we're on here with you guys.
Great.
And like or subscribe. And
yeah.
hopefully
Come hang out with us again.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see you back next week. Katie and I are working on a way to make sure that the videos go up a little more consistently time-wise, because I filmed this on her computer and she needs to do work on it as well. So we are working it out.
Yeah, but you had a whole retreat that you did last weekend, so,
So Wednesday, I think, was when it went up. Yeah. So, okay. Well, I think that's it.
All right.
Bye.
Have a